Ladies and gentlemen, it never ends. It never ends! Apparently, Nijisanji's contract has just been leaked, and it's awful. Now, I'm gonna say this here and now before getting into depressed Nosagi's understandable, digestible feedback on the contract of Nijisanji by telling you one very, very simple thing. Vindication! No, I'm joking. That's not what I wanted to say. Although I wanted you to know that that's what I'm thinking. The one thing that I really want you to know about is pre-watched. Pre-watched! Listen, not pre-watched that I've seen Nosagi's video. That I haven't. Pre-watched in that I've seen the Nijisanji contract months ago. So, listen. Listen. In all honesty, I have pre-watched this months before it even happened. Something is leaking. And it's my cum. And it's a yacht. Ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty crazy. Listen, there are 4 major stories that I wanted to leak so badly before this drama started. At this point, 2 of those 4 are already leaked. I wanted to leak about the secret termination contracts that they would give their talent before they leave, and I really wanted to leak the actual full fucking contract. If I would have had access to it, which at this point, I think it's fair enough to say, yeah. The reason why I didn't end up leaking it, and that is A, I don't leak shit. I am a not leaking ship. I don't leak nothing. You will notice by now, I observe, I cackle at the chaos around me. I do not leak. It is anything that is given to me in confidence remains in the vault. Unless I'm the one that actually leaked this by putting it on 4chan and or sent it to Legal Mindset or something, which I didn't. Totally not me at all. I talked to Legal Mindset before and I said, listen, I hope it leaks. I hope you get to cover this, but it's not gonna be through me. The leak was not me. I do not leak shit. I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure I know who did leak it. I'm not actually gonna speculate here. I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I know who leaked it. So, let's just jump right into it. I had months to digest this already. I'm a little bit here in advance in regards to the entire contract. So we are going to be getting into this, and I am going to, and I don't want to say devil's advocate, because a lot of the stuff that you see in here is just completely indefensible. However, a lot of it is, I don't want to say understandable, but I want people to, I'm going to try my best to do some transformative commentary after months of thinking this over, because I really have thought about this for a long time, being that I've seen this a long time ago. So let's just jump right into it, baby.
I have heard the standard baseline template contract from Nijisanji has been leaked by the VTuber lawyer Legally Minded.
Yeah! Let's go, bro. Legally Minded? What the hell? His name is Legal Mindset, bro.
Legal Mindset.
Okay, all right, yeah, just keep that in the final take, I guess. All right, go for it.
And now the document is out there. It's the unsigned version, meaning that the actual terms for the members may actually be different and may vary.
So one of the major reasons why I never wanted to leak anything is because I have very good reason to believe that a lot of the actual contracts that the talents have signed are different. So I am afraid that by leaking a contract, Nijisanji will be able to track down who got me that contract and why basically put blame on someone. This is the real reason that I, until now, was very hesitant to mention. But now that it's leaked, it's leaked. So that's the reason why I didn't want to actually be the one to leak it, because I didn't want it to be able to be tracked down to anyone else. My contribution to this entire situation in the past, in the dark background, in the secret shadow government pulling the strings, has purely been for wholesome purposes. And I am not using anything for the sake of clout or drama or any of that. I am commentating on what I see, and I am laughing maniacally at the downfall of a juggernaut.
But this one is now public information. Nobody knows who leaked it, and
It wasn't me. It was not me. It was not me. These lips sealed, brother.
those that knows about it behind the scenes are keeping their sources closed. In any case, I made an entire stream summarizing everything. I'm sure Legal Mindset will also have his own clip summarizing the whole thing with his more pronounced perspective, since,
Probably.
you know, he's an actual lawyer. But in this
Probably.
video, I will be giving you just a very brief rundown on the things that has happened and what was written in the contract and what they
He does protest too much. No!
mean. Screenshots of compilations of it are everywhere, in Twitter, the r/Nijisanji subreddit, and even in the descriptions of my last reaction stream. Seek and you shall find it, basically. Article 4 is where the first interesting meat of the contract is placed. We've all known that 50% is what Nijisanji takes from
pretty standard
their streaming revenue.
So the 50% streaming revenue, in my opinion, does make sense. They are giving these people a platform, even though for the most part, most talent agencies take way less than that. You have to recognize the fact that of VTuber talent agencies particularly, they literally create your model for thousands of dollars before you even start. Most talent agencies only give you basic support behind the scenes and aren't necessarily going out there spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to literally build up your design from scratch and give you a platform. So for that reason alone, the 50% thing is not that insane. In fact, it's pretty much the going standard for every VTuber agency, as far as I'm aware of, when it comes to agencies that own the IP of the VTubers. Meaning not people like VShojo, where they don't actually own the talent IP, the talent just joins them once they're already established.
They confirm it right here. However, everything else like merch cuts, sponsors, lives, concerts, commercials is going to be negotiated with the actual talents themselves.
Yeah, so that part, again, no leak, because we don't want to talk about any specifics here, because any specifics could lead you down a rabbit hole to zeroing in on where I might have got info from. But yes, the 2% thing is pretty reasonable. It's pretty accepted. It's widely believed.
And they are willing to supply you with 200,000 yen, or around $1,300 worth of equipment and hardware for your VTubing activities.
In my mind, it's really weird that something like that is stipulated directly in the contract. See, if they needed stuff to stream, of course you'd think that the company would just supply that regardless, and not necessarily having some sort of set cost attached to it. But also, something very important to know is they will not give you this money if you don't actually need the software. That part does make sense. Putting a cap on it is just an additional, seemingly weirdly unnecessary cap in my mind.
Laptops, PCs, and the like. However, they only give it to people and when they deem it necessary. Meaning if you have already a relatively okay PC, then you're not getting that extra 1,300. They don't
See, that does kind of make sense to me, right? If they hire a streamer that has an existing streaming setup, why should they give them $1,300 for streaming stuff when they don't need it? Realistically, most streamers don't need that much. You need an iPhone and a computer, right? And that's basically it.
Mention the 2% in here, but that's all but confirmed.
Yeah.
Article.
So the crazy thing is that you'll notice very clearly that in the contract, they take 50% of revenue. One thing that they don't talk about is the 98% of merch and the, 100% of sponsors and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That comes out to a lot more than 50% of whatever they're actually netting for the company.
Article 5 states that Niji pays for the talent's business costs when they go to Japan, which is great. Article 6 states that
which is great. Yeah, it's great. I don't think that's that great. I think that should be obvious if they obligate you to go to Japan for business. No, duh, they should be paying for it. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Not allowed to work with other VTuber activities in projects unless they give you their consent.
Oh, hi. That's me. Oh, hi. I am the other project that requires consent.
This could potentially mean in stuff like performing in 3D lives and the like with other VTuber agencies, which is pretty standard, yeah. We don't want
standard.
that in any company.
Very standard.
And besides, it's not like they're fully banning it. Article 7 is the most fucking weird one.
I wouldn't say the most, but it's where it starts to get slippery.
This could just be a translation issue, but certain information is so vague. They basically make it so that the VTubers must give the company quote-unquote certain information whenever they ask for it, presumably private information. I don't know what this means in context.
Let me explain what that means, because again, I have had a very, very long time to think about this. Nijisanji, specifically, and you will notice this throughout their entire contract, they do their very best to make the conditions as vague as absolutely possible. Okay, so again, lots of time to think about this. The company wants to protect themselves, and this makes a lot of sense. Now, the company wants their talent to do well, but also wants to be able to have complete and utter control. If they get fired, Niji wants to have a billion reasons as to why they're firing them. That includes anything. They have something, let's say they want some personal info out of you at any point. They want this contract worded in a way that they can literally do whatever they want. Realistically, they probably won't do all of these things. But that said, by signing it, you're basically, giving your soul to Satan, and Satan will say, listen, I'm probably not going to do anything heinous, but I could.
What if it's confidential? What if it's personal?
Oh, there's no such thing as personal or There's no such thing as personal or confidential information if you join Nijisanji. Now, realistically, they're probably not gonna ask you for anything that you might consider private, but they could. That's the point here. And being that there are so many people that wanted to join this company so badly, they are able to get away with something like this, and people are willing to sign it because there's no way this company's gonna be that evil, right?
Maybe that was the intention. Like, it's weird. At best, again, this is a translation issue that means it's personal information, but at worst, this is intentionally vague so that they can put anything under this term,
yes, sir.
And they can pressure the talents into revealing anything and everything that they want.
And even worse than that, it's another excuse to terminate talent. You'll notice the entire contract is basically littered with incredibly vague shit that at any point in time when they terminate the talent, they'll tell the talent, well, remember when we asked you for your dental records and you didn't supply them to us? You violated this. We have the legal right to terminate you. If you speak, we're taking you to court. Like, they want to have all the ability to do all that stuff. Now, from the company's perspective, I guess that makes sense. However, goddamn.
And I'm just not comfortable with that. Article 8 states that they must be all present for all conferences. Article 8 states that they must be present for conferences
for us to start cutting out the bad takes in the videos.
Meetings to further their operations. Article 9 is just where they state that...
Makes sense, right? Meetings, they show up to meetings. Makes sense. Standard stuff.
The VTubers must undergo training, and that's understandable, honestly.
So, in my humble experience, they put this in and they don't actually do it. As far as I understand, they don't really make the VTubers undergo training. I could be wrong. Maybe it's only some of them that they do and some they don't really. As far as I understand, there's very little actual training for the VTubers. It's just a way to, it's just extra things in case they ever decide to do it. And that's what this whole thing is. Everyone looks at this as, rules. This contract is not rules. And even Legal Mindset and everyone that's looking at it, these are not the rules, okay? The rules are, do whatever you want, but if you step even one toe out of line, we will annihilate you. Like, we will annihilate you to a level that you've never possibly expected. So, they probably won't need to go through VTuber training. They probably won't need to give all sorts of crazy personal information. However, the fact that these are in here just remains as these weird, these weapons in the arsenal of this company in case they ever have to annihilate you.
VTubers need to be coached on what to do and what not to do, tips and tricks, all that sort of stuff. And
as far as I know, by the way, just looking at their content, Nijisanji does not do anything for them. So even though they keep saying tips and tricks and stuff, basically every VTuber in Nijisanji sets up their own schedule, they pay for their own assets, they pay for their own music, they come up with their own events. As far as I'm aware, tips and tricks are not at all actually done by the Niji team. It's all just there in case they want you to do a certain thing or conform a certain way. Not actually that you are going to be getting tips and tricks.
If they aren't able to do this with a justifiable reason, they are terminated, and you must return the objects after your term has ended or the borrowing time has passed. Sometimes they let you even keep it.
Yeah, and the reason why that's very important is because let's say they tell you, hey, I want you to do a 12-hour stream today. And you're like, oh, I can't do that. And they're like, oh, okay. And then if they ever want to fire you, they'll be like, remember when we told you that when we coach you, you have to listen to our coaching? Yeah. Well, you didn't do a 12-hour stream that day that we coached you to do that. Oh. Oh, no, I didn't. Do you want to go to court or do you want to be silenced for eternity? So, two options. Court or the Shadow Realm. You choose! You choose!
Article 10 is where they let people lend materials. But this is a given. Basically, if they let you use their stuff and you need to take care of it, you can't modify it or use it for non-work purposes. If it's broken or damaged or lost, you bear the responsibility.
Makes sense.
Article 11 is where it's starting to get really bad.
Yeah.
It's basically confirming that management can and will skinwalk on your account if they want to.
Yeah,
They have
this is something that I have been saying for so long, and I'm so happy it's finally like in the public eye.
complete and total control over your social media, and in paragraph 8, it's worded in a way where if it gets hacked or something happens to your account either because of you or the management, Nijisanji is not liable for some reason. Article 12 states
Whoa. Less than not liable. Okay, all right. It's worse than not liable. If you get your account hacked, then this company can blame you and say that you were negligent in the management of an account that is not owned by you. Okay? I want people to understand how weird this is. If the account gets hacked completely by circumstances out of your control, they can take it out on you because you are not the owner of this account and you were negligent. That's a lot worse.
you or the management, Nijisanji is not liable for some reason. Article 12 states
Not liable for some reason. They want you to know that they own you. They're not liable because you belong to them.
that, again, everything is theirs. Anything you make, your VTuber model, your songs, your assets, the lore videos and originals and song covers that you paid for, it's theirs. Article 3.
So, to be honest, that makes sense. Again, I'm trying my best to be as good faith here as possible. It makes sense that they own that there's an ownership of rights there, right? They're paying for your model, they're building you up from scratch. It's only fair, once they have done all of that, for them to own the content that you create to some degree. Now, it would be really nice if they didn't take this as hard as they actually do. But my God, dude, if you make a sandwich, it is their sandwich now. Dude, it sucks and it's awful, but God, dude, it's awful. It's awful.
Assets, the lore videos and originals and song covers that you paid for, it's theirs.
See, that's just insane to me because it's theirs because the IP that you are using is theirs, but also they don't pay for anything for you. So at that point, no matter what you pay for, no matter what content you pay for, what art you pay for, what events you pay for, what prizes you pay for, what music videos you pay for from your own pocket, all of that belongs to the company. You have essentially just made a very generous donation to the company. Excuse me while I just open up my my tall glass of vindication. We thank you for your donation by investing into your content.
Article 13 is bad. Nijisanji will have everything go through them rather than directly to the talent. This doesn't just apply to money, it applies to everything. Your play button, trophies, cash prizes, tournament awards, everything goes through.
All right, dude,
through them. And you might not see a lick of it depending on your individual contract.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
This is where we see that Nijisanji members don't actually receive their play buttons. It's because of this.
It's not just play buttons, it's anything. Let me give you an example, okay? You have a Nijisanji member that joins a Mario Kart tournament, a Twitch rivals Twitch-funded Mario Kart tournament. They win the Mario Kart tournament, they make $2,000 from Twitch because they beat the Mario Kart tournament. You know who makes that $2,000? Yep! You guessed it! You guessed it! You belong to them. You belong to them. Anything that you make with your own two hands, you just make for your masters.
Clause in the contract. Again, as long as you got...
That's not just VTubers, that's literally anything. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's let's say you have some sort of P.O. box, alright? Under your name as a Nijisanji VTuber, and someone mails you something to your P.O. box. Technically, that belongs to Nijisanji. I want to make this as broad as I can for you to recognize what's going on here. If you are on stream with a GoFundMe because, guys, my PC broke and Niji's not willing to fix it because they're only willing to pay up to $1,300. Guys, my PC broke and I wish you could fix it. And they're like, oh, hell yeah. And they send you $1,000 for a new PC. That belongs to Nijisanji. You want another example? Let's say this VTuber is on stream gambling, okay? I don't think Niji VTubers are allowed to gamble on stream, but let's say they're gambling on stream. You know, just gambling, vibing, playing some freaking good-ass gambling, losing money. They end up down $100,000 gambling on Nijisanji, and then They finally win. They win $1 million gambling. Guess who owns that $1 million? Guess who spent that $100,000 gambling? But guess who owns that $1 million of winnings? Yep. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here.
Got anything or create anything as that Niji character, they will own everything. In Hololive, this is somewhat the case as well, but Hololive actually gives their play buttons and trophies and shit to the actual person rather than keeping it for themselves.
Yeah, and so I want to make things clear. I think to an extent this is just kind of standard for Japanese companies in general. Now, there's no way they would be petty enough to actually keep the play buttons, right? There's no way, bro, they would actually keep the play buttons. Right? Well, they do. See, again, that's what I mean by these things are, this is just the absolute extreme that they could push it if they feel like it. And Niji just pushed it a little too much. They girl bossed a little too close to the sun.
Article 14 is standard. If the stuff they give you has...
I'm sorry if I'm not, like, overexcited with my, like, yo reactions and stuff. As you know, I don't pre-watch and I don't fake reactions. I read this contract months ago. Like, none of this is... I'm not going to be surprised by anything here. I've seen all of this.
Effects, then you need to replace it and be responsible. Article 15, this is their prohibited actions, stuff that you can...
It's long! It's long! And every single one of these are long enough that, and vague enough that they can literally get you for anything. Like, look at this. Images for the purpose of sexual intercourse. What does that mean? That means a freaking ad pops up on the side of your PC saying, buy dildos here, or making one joke talking about the Bad Dragon website. That's enough. They can fire you for using images for the purpose of sexual intercourse. Like, and that's all of these things. All of them. It's like sometimes someone has a bad day and they're like, that's why I drink my worries away. Oh, really? Did you just induce dangerous behavior such as drinking? Right? Or if you ever are, you know, playing some sort of video game with somebody and you call them a jerk and you're like, chat, aren't they a jerk? And then chat will be like, yeah, you jerk. Did you just induce harassment or bullying of a third party? Let me just mention that even though every single streamer violates all of these at their most vague interpretations in the universe, Niji will never actually sit there and, you know, enforce it. Unless they have to. See, the thing is, you have people that are part of Niji, like, let's say Vox Akuma, okay? He did that response video, basically, to the whole Dokibird situation, saying that she could have left at any time. He was definitely very hurt by her personally, etc., etc., etc. That, I would say, is something that induces harassment or bullying of the third party in this situation being Dokibird. That said, he's not getting kicked out of Nijisanji because, you see, Nijisanji doesn't have to follow these rules. Nijisanji can only utilize them as weapons if they ever feel like it. Like, that's why they're so long, verbose, and vague. Not because these are actual guidelines that anyone has to follow, but just because they are a weapon to be used in case you ever step a toe out of line. From a company perspective, I mean, I guess this makes sense if you want to control people, but holy shit.
Can't do, and it's all the standard stuff. What is notable here specifically, though, is the discrimination and hate speech segments, and the trouble and discomfort to third parties.
Something that might cause trouble or discomfort to third parties. Oh my god.
Segment.
Dude, I love how Nijisanji will literally, you know, laugh at the idea that Dokibird tried to kill herself twice. And they're like, don't cause trouble or discomfort to any third parties.
Which was what happened to Kyo Kaneko with his Korean comment and Uki Violetta with his white straight people bad comment, and Gundo Mirai baseball question respectively. It's also stated here that the VTubers under Niji can't go to a different agency for a whole 6 months.
So this is a what's it called? Not a non-disclosure, non-compete. I get this, right? You join Nijisanji, you end up getting a massive influx. When I first read this, I flipped out. But think about it for a second. You join Nijisanji, you are literally blowing up, all right? They are giving you a platform with 200,000 followers in a day. They are giving you a VTuber model right now. They spent $4,000 on your model. They spent hundreds of hours planning, hiring you, and all of that stuff. you have a platform, you're famous, and then you just leave and join VShojo, right? Hypothetically speaking, right? Because VShojo is taking a smaller cut than Nijisanji, right? So, and you're already established because Nijisanji gave you the platform. Let's think about it, right? So, this is pretty understandable that for a period of 6 months after the end of this agreement, unless there's some sort of specific reason as to why that's not the case, they can't join another agency. To be completely honest, I get it. I do get it. It makes a lot of sense to me from a business perspective. You don't want to build someone up and then them just decide to leave. Totally makes sense. However, what if they leave because you're evil, though? What if they leave because you're harassing these people? Like, suddenly that becomes a little sad.
At least not without Niji's consent, which I imagine they don't give out freely. So no.
So they give out that... Okay, all right, dude. Remember I told you there are 4 things I wanted to leak before this whole drama started? 2 of them are leaked. 2 of them are still secret. And both of them involve something along these lines.
Yago, the gun run...
Non-competes, they make sense. It's a pretty standard thing. It makes sense logically. It's just, I wish that the company would treat them well enough to actually want to stay.
Sakana and Avia can't save your Oshis unless Nijisanji says so. They're also not allowed to explicitly say that they're that VTuber, even after they leave Nijisanji.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, all...
That's the whole famous thing. The reason why, when Zion left Nijisanji, Sayu had to post one girl's story talking from this really weird third person's perspective because she couldn't actually acknowledge that she was Zion.
Niji graduates have done a good job avoiding this one. Wink, 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 wink. Article 16 is the terms of suspensions. It's all the standard stuff, basically.
Yeah.
They'll suspend you without notice, terminate you without notice, with some interesting notes being paragraph 2, which recalls this vague-ass information thing saying that if anything they ask for is false, then there will be more consequences. Consequences.
If you lie to us, we kill you. It's in the contract. We could do it.
That we'll get into later.
God damn.
Article 17 is interesting. The punishment for broken terms. They take away 50% of what you earn for the...
So this part's insane. I remember even when I saw this at the very beginning, I lost my shit when I saw this.
relevant month when you do an oopsie. Normally, you take a third of what your channel under Niji earns, and they're going to take another 50% of that. Heck, and if you happen to have broken terms that are part of Article 15, Paragraph 4, which includes a lot of stuff, they can...
Let me remind you how vague these terms were. Do you remember how vague the terms were? I think you do. The terms were showing an image or something that causes some sort of bullying towards a third party. You know how vague that is? That's it. Okay, this is a story that actually happened in Nijisanji. I think it's public at this point, so I'm just going to say it. This doesn't count as a leak because I think it's public. Zion said, Ubisoft sucks while playing Uno. And when Nijisanji fired her, they said incited harassment to a third party. And it turned out that harassment was saying Ubisoft sucks because her Uno game crashed on her. That's what I mean by vague. That is cruel and vindictively vague. That's not inciting harassment, okay? By saying Ubisoft sucks when your game crashes. Like, that's ridiculous. But the fact that they can use something like that to dock pay and take all of your revenue for a certain month, that's really difficult to understand. Now, again, let me paint this picture. Someone in Nijisanji does a subathon, okay? They're streaming, they're live for like a whole freaking month straight. And in that straight month, they've made tons of money doing a subathon, literally. And my guy, my dude, my homie, let's say, over the course of that, 30-day long stream, they said Ubisoft sucks. Nijisanji could just be like, incited violence, we take all the revenue of the last 30 days. They could do that. Legally. Wow. Now, let's be honest, they probably won't do that, but they could.
Outright just take everything away.
Yeah.
There's a chance that they will not pay you for anything on an entire month if you make an oopsie. Basically,
12 years, dungeon, no lawyer, no trial, 12 years, dungeon.
Most of the penalties here are monetary. You can pause and read all you like. They're here.
That's wild.
Article 18 is where they have to disclose that they cannot guarantee you anything. Not a certain amount of profit, not even like...
God, I'm so happy someone leaked this. God damn it, it didn't have to be me. And the world becomes a better place.
Like actual support. If you do decide to reach out to outside parties to help you with your VTuber activities, let's say sponsors, animators, artists, whatever, they're going to leave everything to you. If there are disputes, you're
If you want to get art done, then you have to reach out for the artist, and you have to pay the artist. And if you don't pay the artist, then you're the one that the artist is going to be coming for because you got to cover all that. Did you get a sponsor that we're going to take all the money for? Hell yeah. God damn it.
responsible for
What do they do? They just give you a platform and literally fuck off.
it, not management. You're left to fend for yourself here. They don't even help you vet for the people that you want to work with. If you end up working with, let's say, a bad person, then you're the one at fault. Nijisanji is totally free. They're throwing you to the wolves, which puts into question and confirms a lot of the things that Selen said during her departure. And Nijisanji will not be liable or may even help you if, say, your PC boomed or something happens to you and your equipment, your PC wiped, your electronics fried, equipment malfunctioned.
Tough. Did we give you our $1,300 already? Well, that's on you, bitch. Yes, we took your last funds for the last 30 days because you know, said Ubisoft sucks, but unfortunately, this is a you problem.
Functioned, a fucking storm swept through your house and ruined your stuff? Nope. Niji will not help you. They have no obligation to help you. And even if Niji is being intentionally or grossly negligent, they'll only pay for the damages in the last 6 months rather than the entire term.
So if by the way, this contract perfectly lets Nijisanji be negligent. There is absolutely zero requirements in this whole thing for Nijisanji to actually do
something that they fucked up on that they did 2 years ago, and you're now only pursuing some semblance of action for those. Nope, they can't pay for that. Article 18 is actually wild. This entire article is basically just...
Don't sign it? Okay, listen, the don't sign it argument is very good. I don't sign stuff unless I actually get it looked at. That's just the me rule. Nuxanor, I get shit looked at by a lawyer before I sign it. However, you have to realize someone joining Nijisanji is seeing a platform that's huge right in front of them, seeing all the... They've been watching Nijisanji streams for the last 3 years, and all these people seem like they're having so much fun on streams. What the hell? This must be great. And they just blind faith mode. Some people are just not used to getting fucked over. Life experience is a bitch, eh?
Them saying that they will not provide you with even the bare minimum, but will profit off of you for the biggest that they can. The most juice for the squeeze here. It's actually pretty bad. Article 19...
Hey guys, I'm a streamer. I play video games for fun. Also, I understand the legal intricacies of this 4,000 page long contract. Bro, whatever happened to just making YouTube videos?
Says that in any case where the VTuber caused direct, indirect damages or made them lose opportunities and stuff...
You do realize that means anything. Anything. Oh, did you get hate on Twitter? Well, that means that convention saw this and might not have wanted to invite us. So technically, you lost us opportunities. It's nice and vague. We love that.
Then the talent is held liable and that they must compensate the company.
Yeah, but what the hell does compensate mean? Money, 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 money. Now, again, probably the company will never actually need that. They'll never enforce it, but they could. That's the lesson here. These are all the ways the company could potentially fuck you over if they want to.
They also say that if you have a dispute with other VTubers inside the company...
This one's also insane to me.
...or other third parties like sponsors, artists, musicians, or anyone that you've worked with, they will not help you.
Yeah, that was wild to me. Because I think one of the major points of like a management company or management agency is the fact that they'll help you out. If you get a copyright strike, you want the management agency to step in and help you out, all right? You don't want to need to dox yourself to fight a copyright strike if you have an agency that can do that for you, all right? If someone's harassing you, you shouldn't need to be out there trying to figure stuff out yourself and make things better and avoid all that. Your company should be out there to protect you. But they're like, no. We don't want you to be a liability to us PR-wise either. If you get into shit, you get yourself out of it. Like, that's insane to me.
You will handle all of that by yourself and you only report the progress to them. If you get into legal trouble, they will not mediate.
What the hell does that mean? If you get into legal trouble, they will not mediate. Like, huh? By the way, getting a copyright strike on YouTube, common as shit. And if that happens to you, that is technically legal trouble. Like, do you know how easy it is to get copyrighted on YouTube?
If you get copyright struck, they might not even help you. And if Niji was forced to pay for anything a third party is demanding...
That's not even coming out of their pocket. That's just literally putting their signature on a paper. And they're not willing to do it.
Then the talent will reimburse the agency for...
What do you do? They just give you a clout injection on day one and let you just go on ahead and live your life where half of whatever you make goes to them and more.
For it. Again, absolutely fucking wild. If bullying happens, they won't do jack shit. If disputes or fights happen, they won't do jack shit.
Wild.
They are not obliged to help you with anything or any problems that might crop up. It's actually fucked up. Again, minimal support for maximized profit. It's wild. Some VTubers under Niji might do it out of the kindness of their hearts, but there will be others that won't because they are not legally obligated to in this contract here. Article 20 is basically the termination clause.
It is surprising. It is insane and surprising that they have all this stuff. But then again, I feel like when's the last time you saw Nijisanji stand up for one of their talents? I literally can't even think of it. I cannot even think of it.
The terms are...
Here's a model. Now go make money. Also, we can fuck you in the ass if we want to.
The acts that can warrant a termination. It's all bog standard stuff, and they will still make you do your obligations even if you got terminated. So if you...
By the way, that means that even if you got terminated, you still have to carry out your obligations. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Nijisanji owns you until your death and beyond. Death don't do you part. Leaving Nijisanji does not cut the contract.
Got a song cover or a sponsor or a voice pack like what happened to Selen, for example, then you're forced to do it. Article 23 states that the livers, if they object with the terms, have to respond within 14 days or otherwise it will be deemed as an acceptance.
Yeah, they have this thing where they like pressuring people into getting it all done as quickly as possible.
If they do anything under Niji within this period, it's an automatic yes. Silence means consent to Niji, it seems.
Oh, 24 to 26, not that interesting. All right, let's go.
Article...
Can I just say another time for the people in the back that didn't hear me the first time? Vindication! I've been saying, literally a year ago, I've said this, okay? Literally a year ago. Do you remember how badly I was jumped on for saying all this stuff? My God!
Article 27 is just proof that they're lazy. If any of the stuff they wrote is unenforceable, then they will make it close to the law as possible to make it enforceable.
So here's the thing. A lot of the actual terms and agreements in their contracts are not legal. Like, the whole idea that even after terminated, we still own you forever. Like, that's not actually enforceable. But they just make it to the absolute extreme. And then when technically you can't enforce that because it's illegal to have contracts like this, that's a little thing called slavery, and that was abolished a bit ago by some based people. They wanted to make it as enforceable as possible.
Know that a lot of the stuff that they made here will not carry over, so they made this something like a band-aid to fix the problems in case it arises in the future. Article 28 is just them saying that you're part of the Nijisanji family forever. Some terms of the contract,
families forever,
like 17 of them, will remain even after you leave Nijisanji or you're terminated.
Right.
And
and that includes all the slander stuff, all the talk about stuff. That's why it's so scary to actually respond to Nijisanji. You see, when their talent ends up leaving, whether they decide to leave on their own terms or they're terminated, they still have to hold their tongue because who knows? Maybe they'll say something that violates Article 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, paragraphs 4 and 5, Article 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2 through 8, 17, 2 through 3, 18, through 18, paragraph 1 through 6, 19, 21, 24, 27, 29, or 31. Maybe they will violate something in there and end up in court. And that's after you already left Nijisanji.
I'll stick forevermore for as long as Niji is alive. Wild stuff, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is basically the summary. The Nijisanji contract demands that the livers must perform or attend PR and meetings and conferences for them when they are called.
Makes sense, honestly. I just wish they would do more for their people, but yeah, makes sense.
Nijisanji also gets to decide where the livers do their job for some reason.
That's wild to me, that they could demand you to continue in Japan and then they'll pay for your flight there, which is like, huh?
2. Nijisanji only gives them 1,300 or 200,000 yen in tech and PC support and really only gives it when they deem it necessary.
Again, it's weird to me that they're putting a number on this sort of thing. I feel like this didn't need to be there at all. It should just be, they'll help you. What the fuck happened? I just got 18,000 viewers. Wait, huh? If I did get rated, I didn't get the notification, but thank you. That's nice of you, whoever did that. All right, we're back. What the hell was that? All right, you know, got a little glitch. Tiny little glitch. All right, listen. Dude, it was just 18,000 Nijisanji fans just popped in for 2 seconds, saw what I was doing and left.
It's up to their discretion, it's not guaranteed, and in the occasion that you get terminated, you return the stuff back. Number 3.
The wrong streamer got botted. Someone meant to bot themselves, they actually botted me, and then they went back. All right.
Too much of the contract terms is vague, and a lot of them are unenforceable.
Yeah, it's incredibly vague on purpose.
Such as the part where the livers must disclose quote-unquote certain information, which could be a mistranslation of personal information, or again, at worst, intentionally vague to pressure the talents into telling them anything. 4.
Yeah, again, they keep it as vague as possible so they can enforce whatever they want. That's the entire meta of this entire thing, right? They want control, and that's it. These are people that are sitting there coping and seething that slavery is not legal.
Any vague, tangible objects and prizes and etc. that the talents get while under Nijisanji will be directed to Nijisanji itself and not the livers.
See, that's crazy to me, because it's not just money that they make, you know, doing their generic streaming, right? It's not just like ad revenue or sponsor revenue or merch revenue or something that's directly done like that. It's like even prize money. That has nothing to do with the fact that they are Nijisanji, but by the fact that they are Nijisanji, it goes to them first, all right? Donations, like, or a present sent to them by a fan would belong to Nijisanji. A play button that they win from YouTube would go to Nijisanji. Literally, if they buy a lottery ticket on stream and win, it would go to Nijisanji. Like, just to recognize the wording here is insane.
This applies to trophy, play buttons, and perhaps even cash
Nijisanji plays Mono Blue and Magic the Gathering, true.
prizes from tournaments. 5. You can't work for another agency as a VTuber for the next 6 months.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I was a little bit taken aback. I was like, whoa! But honestly, it does make sense to me. I feel like a lot of people are jumping on non-compete, but non-compete does make sense. The only issue is, if they're gonna literally bully you and threaten you and harass you and all that, like, what do you expect them to do? Like, like what? Turns out bullying and harassing is bad.
Number 6. Niji won't help you if there is bullying or harassment in the agency.
That's insane to me, because at that point, what do? Right? Like, these guys, like, they give you a model, and then what? That's it. They don't even step in for legal things. They don't even step in if you're getting harassed. You could be dead and getting death threats, and Nijisanji will say, well, you didn't see Article 16, Chapter 4 in the contract, where it says, we're not obligated to help you if there are threats against your life.
Heck, it's not even in the contract that they'll help you sort out internal issues.
Dude, nothing. There is none of that at all. No obligations actually fall on Niji's shoulders while in the contract.
They won't help you if there are legal, copyright, artist, or collaborative disputes. You are to fend for yourself.
Yeah.
Number 7. They can just straight up take all your money if
Yes, they can. If you violate anything in the incredibly vague rules, like any personal information that you withhold from them, right? What the fuck does that mean, any personal information? You were breastfed until you were 2.5 years old, and you don't tell that to Nijisanji, they can call that withholding personal information and then just take all your money. Like what?
you make an oopsie that falls under one of their clauses. 8. 17 terms of the contract, 17 paragraphs will follow you throughout your lifetime.
Yes, sir.
You are bound to the Nijisanji family forever.
Any of you watch Yellowstone? Well, you could leave the ranch, but you keep the brand, okay? Like, dog, you are owned for them forever.
Unless they dissolve as a company. Number 9. Niji does not guarantee you anything, not the money, nor the fame, nor assistance.
Yeah, they don't guarantee you anything. But they'll give you a model, and then they'll take your money. And blood, and maybe a kidney.
10. You are given 14 days to reject the contract if you don't like it. If you so much as tweet, stream, or email using the work email or any activity under the company, then you or go past the 14-day deadline, they take it as an acceptance and reel you in.
Yep.
Number 11, the contract.
That's, by the way, as far as I understand, I didn't see what legal mindset said about this one specifically, but that's not enforceable at all. It's just scary as hell.
Is designed to make it so that they give you minimal support for maximum control and maximum profit.
So like every company on the planet, basically. Turns out companies are sometimes cringe and have no choice but to do what they do in order to make as much money as possible. I don't know. Me personally, I have a hard time trusting people that aren't familiar with what you're doing at all. Like, if I would ever join some sort of agency, it would be an agency run by content creators that literally are used to how badly content creators are treated by everyone, that know how to actually help you and that could relate to situations you're in. I feel like anything that's not run by someone that's sort of in your field or someone that's lived the way you've lived, they will not treat you properly. It's insane. It's insane.
Actually exploits the talent for all they are worth. That is generally the contractual terms that are put in this contract over here. Again, you might be more well-read than me when it comes to contracts and stuff, so there will be a lot of resources out there summarizing the entire thing. In fact, I'll just put it in the description so you guys can find it easily.
Yeah, that was a good video. You summarized it very well. It's pretty insane. I think the nutshell here is they make it as vague as humanly possible so that they can control you. That's kind of the nutshell summary of it, which is why which is difficult. Who leaked it? I'm not telling you. I don't know. I actually only have a 99% guess at who leaked it, but I'm not gonna say anything, obviously. But yeah, so anyway, now I think you understand why I wanted to leak this so badly. Why I was literally holding myself back for months to leak this. Oh god, dude. But yeah, anyway, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. It's important to know what's going on, I think, for everybody. You gotta know the people that run your shit. If you join a company where the company can't ever get taken down, no matter how in the right you are, that's a problem. That's literally a problem. So, I hope that everyone watching this is fully aware. If you want to join a VTuber agency, there are a lot of good ones. Okay? There are a lot of bad ones, but there are a lot of good ones. And realistically, the most important thing to do is make sure it's a company that at least hasn't abused the talents in the past. Oh my god. And a company that could relate and really want to help you, okay? A company that really wants to help you grow, bro. God damn it. Actually insane. Actually wild. And I think most of this is not actually enforceable. So, in the past, slight little Nux lore. When I first saw this contract, I personally showed it to a lawyer and asked him how much of this is enforceable. And he said basically nothing. But then again, that's under, American Canadian law. That's not under Japanese law. So I have no idea what's going on there. But yeah, all in all, crazy situation. So happy it's been leaked. So happy it wasn't by me. Remember to stay weird, fam. If you made it to the end, click one of these two videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam.